Morning, my wonderful family. Passover begins Wednesday evening, which is kind of good timing. It makes sense because it goes along with Easter this year. The only reason that God calls Israel his people, his chosen people, and he made a covenant specifically with them, is because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob, whose name became Israel, heard who he truly was. They dug deeper. And that is the name of my message, dig deeper. Why does the Lord use parables? Motivation. We all hear parables, we all hear stories, and we take them for surface meaning. So in order to test a human's desire to truly know God and his truth, and not just the surface level, to see how motivated a person is to truly go after and seek him, which also means to see how strong a person's pride is and willingness to be humbled and put Adonai in his rightful place in our hearts as Lord over our lives. In Matthew 13, after speaking to the crowds for a long time, the disciples finally asked him, when people weren't getting it, why is he speaking in parables? The message was, those who are truly convicted in their heart and really want to know the Lord will always dig deeper under the surface into the meaning of the parable in order to find the truth. Is Passover a parable, like the other feasts that Adonai commanded the Israelites to celebrate yearly forever? The religious Jews today are all preparing this week for Passover to get rid of the chametz, which means it's the yeast, and it represents sin, which is why you have matzah on Passover, because it represents Yeshua completely. So is Passover a parable like the other feasts that Adonai commanded the Israelites to celebrate yearly forever? The 7 feasts have literal, natural, and historical meaning. God commanded Israel to commemorate the true historical history yearly to remind Israel that he is faithful to his people. And if you're a Gentile, you're grafted in to the tree of Israel, true Israel. This is to remind his people that he will never break his covenant with them. But he also used the yearly celebrations as parables or metaphors of his plan to save the human race from eternity without him. God's plan was that through the thousands of years of the yearly celebrations, when Yeshua finally came, those who really wanted to know the truth, who were truly seeking God, would have their minds and spiritual eyes opened up as these things unfolded in the natural. And those that did see would become true Israel, Jew and Gentile alike. When sharing the third cup, as we just did, of the Passover Seder, there are 4 cups that is traditional to drink, and they all have a representation in the Seder. In the natural, it represents the cup of redemption, the redemption of those who trusted Adonai enough and obeyed him by sacrificing an unblemished lamb and putting the blood on the doorpost of their house so that the plague of death would pass over their homes and save them, because that's what our Lord promised them. He was revealing, explaining how acknowledgement of that part of the story really represented what he was finally here to do spiritually and naturally in that moment of time. Those who had eyes to see saw when the Lord said, "This is my body and this is my blood." That was the third cup. He was saying, you know how you've been celebrating this for over 1,000 years? Well, it's been pointing to me the whole time. And if you truly want to know me and my Father, you'll see it. And those that did became believers, first Jew and then Gentiles. The main message here is God is saying, always look below the surface to truly see and know God. It's been a rough week for some of us, me included, and all he keeps telling me is dig deeper. God bless you all. Happy Pesach to all my Jewish and non-Jewish friends and loved ones, and I love you guys.